This is when I go.
What's going on, everybody? Lauren with the Free As Fuck podcast, episode 15. It is Sunday. It's Sunday.
All right.
It's 1 a.m.
Oh, it was Sunday.
on the East Coast. It's 1
Fair
a.m.
enough.
So it's Sunday, motherfuckers. And we're back with Marshall Holmes. He just got off work. He drove out here. And we're going to do this this early morning ass live stream. That's what we're going to do.
It's going to be our shit, bro.
It's gonna be
our
it's
fucking
gonna be
shit.
our shit. So if you are joining the show for the first time, hang out for a while. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna talk about some current events, some political events. Marshall's gonna tell us some stories about comedy. We'll see what else we Hey,
I'm
look.
going to tell you why I fucking bailed on comedy. That's
Yeah,
what
there
I'm
you
gonna tell
go.
I'm going to tell you why I got the fuck out of comedy.
He's gonna tell us that. We're gonna get a shovel. We're gonna dig a rabbit hole. We're gonna jump in the rabbit hole, and we're gonna lose the shovel halfway through the rabbit hole and see where we get stuck. That's what probably the shovel will be gone.
lost.
Yeah,
That's a
it'll be like you're at the
guarantee.
bottom of Minecraft, and you're like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
Yeah.
You jump into the lava. That's what you end up doing.
Yeah, if you want
so-
to be in, if you want to be, look, you're either in or you're not in. If you
right.
ain't in, bail now because you're about to go somewhere deep, deep, and you better be ready because I'm gonna give you everything I got. I'm gonna
That's
tell you
where we're
what
at.
it used to be like back in the fucking day. Go ahead, man. What do we got? What we starting with?
Well, why don't you start off with why'd you bail on comedy? Why'd you bail on stand-up comedy?
Well, I would like to say this to stand-up comedy. To the stand-up comedy gods that are there, that are listening, that give one shit about comedy. I didn't give up on you, motherfuckers. You fucking gave up on me. Here's when I knew. First of all, I want to say that there is nothing in the world that I fucking love more than being on a stage in front of a live audience. Nothing. I love it more than anything in the world. It's the greatest feeling you could possibly have. You get to go up there, you get to entertain people, you get immediate feedback. It is the rawest form of entertainment. And I loved it. I knew it's what I wanted to do. I used to listen to, when I was a kid, I had a Steve Martin eight track. Is it an 8-track?
8-track was back in that was Steve Martin time.
Yeah. Steve
Yeah,
Martin.
for sure.
And I used to sit, my parents bought it for me for Christmas. I asked them for it. My friends were all like, man, you got to listen to this Steve Martin 8-track, man. It's fucking badass. And I
Steve
told
Martin
my
with the
parents, I was like,
nose.
please buy me this for Christmas. So they bought me a Steve Martin 8-track, and they bought me the 8-track player. And I used to listen to that shit like over and over again. And I used to be fascinated by it. I was like, man, Steve. I was like, first of all, I was like, how does this dude know that this shit is funny? Because for all I knew, he's telling it for the first time.
Right.
And so I'm like, he's going up in front of a live crowd. These people are going nuts. These people are going berserk on this 8-track. And all my friends, I was in like 6th grade. And all my friends are bringing it to school and playing little excerpts of it at school. And we're all just like, holy fucking shit. And they're telling, and there was like this part where he was like, I don't know, man. It was, he did this song called King Tut. If you ever want to look it up, look it up. It was amazing.
Okay.
And ever since that moment, I was like, man, that is what I want to do. That is who I want to be. I want to be a stand-up comic. And I pursued it. And the only way to pursue it, if you're ever curious, is to be an open micer. You start out as an open micer, you get open mics, you start to learn, you think, oh my God, you think when you go up to an open mic, if you go up and crush, that you're about to have this amazing career. That's what you think.
You get one laugh. It's
Right,
game.
right.
Sign the
You're
contract.
like, oh my God, I'm about to become
Netflix
the
is here.
stand-up
Yeah.
comic ever.
Just you don't listen. I'm gonna need you to just not talk to me. I'm too famous.
Right. And so then you go back the next week at the open mic and you're nobody. And they don't give a shit. And they're like, who are you? And you're like, oh, I crushed. So anyway, I fought and struggled and worked back in the 90s, 2000s. And I worked really hard. And I had gotten to the point where I was where I was middling on a regular basis around the country at.
What? Tell people what that means. Who might not know.
So, when you're a comic, you're an open micer. Your aspiration as an open micer is to become an MC. There are 3 spots in the comedian world: MC, middle act, headliner. And so when you become an MC, you're like, oh my God, I am getting paid. And they're like, you're going to get paid, sort of. Your tab is going to be covered as long as you only drink 2 beers.
We got you.
And you're like, okay, all right. I'm going to drink at least 2 beers. So that's good. So now you're an MC. Now you can make a tape. Or at least back then. I don't know what they do now. I can't say what they do now because I don't try to. I'm happy with this. But back then I was like, all right, I'm going to make it. I'm an MC now. They're going to actually introduce me as part of the show. There will be a live audience.
Right.
I'm going to videotape, and you have to take a tripod, set up a VHS camera in the room, and shoot your set. And then after you shot your set, you had to mail it. You had to copy it.
Right.
On your VHS in your house. You had to copy it. And then you had to mail it to all the different bookers around the country. And it was hard to get their names because nobody wanted to give you their names. And they didn't want to receive your tape. And they didn't want to
They're not interested.
They didn't want to watch it.
They're not
And
interested.
they didn't want to watch it. And so you're now calling and you're like, I am from Florida. And I'm an open micer. And I've recently started MCing and I'm crushing. And I sent you a tape 3 months ago. Have you watched it? And they're like, no, fuck you. I'm like, all right. So finally you get, after they're like, all right, we're going to book you as an MC. And you move your way up. And over the years, I worked it hard. And I became an MC. I became a middle act. I started working. My big break was MCing for Richard Lewis at the Improv in Orlando.
Okay.
That was my big break.
That was it.
I MC'd for him. Richard Lewis, I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't know Richard Lewis.
He was on a sitcom in the 90s. He was
look him up.
Sort of a big deal. Richard Lewis. He worked on
Maybe I recognize the face.
Murphy Brown.
Okay, yeah, I'd recognize his face. Yeah.
Murphy Brown?
Maybe, was it? I don't know. I could look it up here where he's from.
Anyway.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, he was on that.
Yeah.
That was later, though. It's 2000s.
That was later.
Anything But Love, Robin Hood Men in Tights. I mean, he was in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
He's got a familiar face.
Right. No.
I knew his face, for sure.
He actually caressed my face. When I introduced the dog out here.
He's back here hiding. Come here, you little shit. Oh. You're gonna be too loud to get out of here. You get booted. You get the light
That's
though.
a great story.
Yeah. All right. Come on.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, I aspired to be a stand-up comic, and I listened. And when you were a stand-up comic back then, you had to listen to the rules that were given to you by the club owner. When you went in and you were booked for a gig, and you were so excited to be booked for something, I would show up like 3 hours before the gig was even supposed to start. And I showed up and I dressed the way I was supposed to dress. I had my hair the way it was supposed to be. I was ready. I was eager. I wanted to achieve comedy success. I was ready to go. And so I would get booked. I started getting booked. I look at my wife. I was married. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm getting booked." She became my manager. She was like, "All right, I'm gonna manage you." The internet was new. We started using the internet to meet people in the industry. and I started getting booked. But what I realized was that as a comedian, if you were going to become successful, the only way to make money was to sell stuff on the road. And so most comics back then, they sold t-shirts, which, by the way, I would like to take this moment to mention. I have a very handsome t-shirt in front of me with a stick figure with a mullet. I am good at selling t-shirts because I used to sell a shitload of fucking t-shirts. I used to have to stand in front of a large crowd after I told them jokes for half an hour and be like, by the way, folks, before you bring up the headliner, real quick, I've got a t-shirt. I'll be standing in the back of the room at the end of the night, at the end of the show. I've got a t-shirt. This is my t-shirt. I have no fucking money. I cannot pay my tab. If you could please come by my table. They've given me a tiny little table in the back of the room. You won't even be able to find me. If you could please come by there and give me $5, $10, even $20 for my t-shirt, I would love it.
So before he continues, I made Marshall this shirt. We went to the open mic. He wore his free as fuck t-shirt down there that I gave him. And I wore mine because we're supporting the podcast. And he was like, I don't want to be twins with your ass. So he turned it inside out like an asshole. And then I said, you know what? All right, I'm going to make Marshall his own t-shirt. No, I don't get mad. I made Marshall's own t-shirt today because I was like, he needs a shirt that just says Marshall. So there's all this censorship shit going on in the media right now. And so I made one with 2 stick figures fucking the censorship signs, which is fuck censorship. That's what they're doing. They're humping the censorship, man. And they got mullets. And then it says, I support the right to be free as fuck on it. So that's Marshall's t-shirt. It's got stick figures with mullets humping the censorship sign because nothing says Marshall Holmes like fuck censorship.
All right. So I did that for a while. I sold t-shirts and I didn't feel comfortable. And so the next thing that I did, I saw a guy selling shot glasses.
Okay.
And I was like, oh.
That's up your speed.
I was like, okay, I drink a lot of tequila. Can I sell some shot glasses? And I changed my name. I've done that a lot in my life. I changed my name. I stopped being, I won't even say the name I was using at that moment. But it wasn't Marshall Holmes.
Okay.
I changed my name to Trash.
Okay. Trash.
I started using the name Trash.
I mean, it's fitting with the haircut,
people,
you know.
Yeah, people were like, dude, you're straight trash.
Is this pre-Joe Dirt?
I believe so, yeah.
Did you still have the mullet?
I had not.
Okay.
The mullet.
All right, so that doesn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense then. Trash doesn't go well.
Well, if you saw what I did when I was on stage.
Straight garbage.
So I, and a friend of mine was like, a friend of mine got drunk one night and lost his shoe. And I used to do a joke in my act about getting drunk and losing your shoe.
Okay.
And so on my shot glass, it said, I saw trash and I lost my shoe.
Okay.
And so on my shot glass, it said, I saw trash and I lost my shoe. And I would sit in the back of the club at the end of the night. I would sell my shot glass. And I had a headliner. I wish I could remember his name. He was such a fucking dick. Because he went up after me, and I'm the middle act, and he knows I'm not making dick. By the way, here's how the pay structure works. The MC that you see when you're at a comedy club, the MC is making nothing. He's maybe getting his tab paid for. The middle act is getting, well, I don't know what they're getting now. I used to get like $100 to $150 for the night. Which, by the way, if you've driven to Nebraska, is fucking shit. And they gave you a hotel room. So your only money is coming from selling shot glasses. The headliner knows this. The headliner, by the way, is getting like $40,000.
No.
Back in the day, I opened for DJ DL Hughley.
Yeah.
I opened for all the blue collar comedy guys. Fucking Get Her Done. Fucking what's his ass. Fucking dickhead. Foxworthy. All those motherfuckers. Oh, what's that asshole? I would love to call that guy an asshole. The puppet motherfucker. Dunham. Oh, motherfucking, I got a story about Dunham. I'll tell you about fucking Jeff Dunham.
Jeff
I'll tell you about
Dunham.
that fucking prick. So anyway, all right. So I'm a middle act. I'm out there working. I'm struggling, man. And this asshole had like a sitcom credit.
Okay.
He was on Friends one time. And that was like his big break. And now he's on fucking headliner. And I'm just pinching my shot glasses. And after I pinched my shot glasses, and by the way, I buried his ass. But what that means is he could not follow me. So he goes up and he's like, at the end of his set, he does this whole set. And at the end of his set, he's like, by the way, how much of a dumbass do you have to be to go to a bar and buy a fucking shot glass? You gotta be the fucking biggest dumbass in the fucking world to go to the fucking. And I'm sitting at my table covered with shot glasses that I'm trying to sell after the show. And by the way, I had about $4 to my fucking name. With no hotel paid for the middle act that night, and I needed the fucking money to get a hotel so I could have someplace to fucking stay. That's the first time I stayed in my car was that night.
Okay. That started it all.
Yeah, right. So I learned how to fucking live in my car that night. I called my ex-wife, and I was like, "Hey," she was my wife at the time. I was like, "Hey, I didn't sell any shot glasses tonight. I was hoping to, but that asshole fucking headliner made fun of my fucking shot glasses. So I didn't get to sell any shot glasses tonight. So I'm going to have to sleep in the car. And I have no food." And she was like, "Well, you have the Exxon card. I know you don't know this because I've never told you this, but you can actually go to Exxon and buy food at Exxon with the Exxon card." And I was like, all right. So I went and I bought Cheetos and a Mountain Dew. And that's what I fucking ate that night for dinner at about 3 o'clock in the fucking morning after the asshole fucking headliner had fucking not told everybody you have to be the biggest dumbass in the fucking world to buy a shot glass. And I'm sitting there with a table full of shot glasses. And everybody walks by me and I'm just like, man, what a fucking dick. And I've always thought to myself, if I ever get the chance, I'm going to tell the whole world what a dick he is. And I can't remember what sitcom he was on, Friends or fucking, he had like a scene on Seinfeld, like a really small, and he never did anything else. And I hope the reason he never did anything else is because I put the kibosh on his career because I was like, I'm going to focus all my energy on making sure this motherfucker never does anything else. All right, so here's where we are. So now I'm out there and I'm doing this career and I'm trying to fucking become a comic and I'm listening to the rules. And back then my hair was like short. I wore a suit with a tie. I was trying to follow all the rules. Every club owner was like, you need to be clean. You need to wear a suit. You need to be like Seinfeld. And I was like, I'm going to try. And I had management. I had like 3 or 4 people that were like, I can manage you. I can turn you into a star. And I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to you. And here's what I started to sell. Because I needed to make money. I wasn't making any money. I'd come home. My ex-wife was like, we have bills to pay. You were gone for 3 weeks. How much money did you make? And I'd be like, I have $14. And she was like, that is not enough.
Found an extra dollar on the way in the door.
Like, that is not enough. We need more. So I was like, all right. So here's what I started to sell. This is what I started to fucking do on the road as a comic. This is no fucking bullshit. This is real hardcore fucking shit from my life. There was a guy at a comedy club that I went to that used to take Polaroid pictures of couples as they walked into the club.
Okay.
He would be like, get close together. And they would get close together. He would take a Polaroid picture of them, and then he would take a picture of them. He had this little press thing, and he would make a keychain.
No shit.
Out of the picture of them together, and on the back of the keychain was a free pass to the club.
What?
So,
Dude, making keychains on the spot.
right. No, well, not on the spot. He would take the picture. The picture had to develop. You didn't even know who he was. He would like walk around. He would walk around while people were being seated at
Right.
the comedy club. But he worked at the Side Splitters Comedy Club down in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
He worked at Side Splitters. And he would walk around the club, and he would take, and that's where I started in Tampa. I started at Side Splitters Comedy Club. Bobby Jewell was the owner. I knew all the people. I used to meet all the motherfuckers that came in there. One of the guys I remember meeting the most, who's become like a big deal now, he's always on commercials, is Billy Gardell. And let me tell you something. Billy Gardell back then was nothing like Billy Gardell now. Billy Gardell was a long-haired, hippie-ass motherfucker. He used to talk shit on stage. He was cool as fuck. He's still cool as fuck. I ain't knocking him.
Right.
But he was a different dude back then. Now you see him, he's on this Ozempic commercial, and he's doing this pharmaceutical.
Right.
I get it, bro. You got to make your money. You're a millionaire.
Wasn't that kind of like
you did Mike and Molly?
Isn't that kind of like Bob Saget, who was like the dad on TV, but the dirtiest
But I
comic
don't
in real
even-
life?
I don't even feel like Bob Saget. I've never seen Bob Saget live, but I remember dudes used to talk to me about Bob Saget and be like, "Oh, and I always felt like Bob Saget was not. There were a lot of comics who made it as sitcom stars that were not legitimate road comics. There were two terms back then. There was road comic, and there was Hollywood or New York comic.
Right.
And if you were a New York comic, you were not considered a road comic. I was a road fucking comic. I went out on the road. I worked for bookers. I wasn't trying to get a sitcom. I was trying to become a headliner.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do. So anyway, so I saw this dude, and at this point, I'd been working on the road for about 6 years.
Okay.
And I had worked my way up. I was middling on a regular basis, and I was headlining occasionally. Like smaller clubs, like Akron, Ohio. I was the headliner. St. Augustine, Florida. I was the headliner. You could go to any small town, St. Cloud, Minnesota. I was going to be your fucking headliner.
Okay.
So anyway, I was like, all right, I need to do something to make some money. Rochester, New York. That was my biggest weekend that I ever had. Rochester, New York. So I was like, all right, I'm getting booked. I'm headlining, but headlining without a sitcom credit was nothing. You were the guy between the main, like big guys coming in every weekend, and then they'd be like, all right.
Because the '90s was all about development deals.
Right.
You just go up there and you would just get a develop. They were paying dudes, for people who don't know, they were paying comics ridiculous amounts of money.
Yes.
In the possibility that they could then use them later.
Right.
They basically prepaid for you.
And I was getting nibbles. I was getting nibbles at that. Like the biggest thing that you could do back then, the biggest break you could get was to become a regular on the Bob and Tom radio show. And I had management, and my management hooked me up with the Bob and Tom radio show, and they dogged my ass out, and it fucking flopped. And I did nothing on that show. They wrote, if ever you could pull up a clip of me, if you ever want to pull up a clip of what I was like when I was young and upcoming, and you won't be able to find it because my name was different back then, so you won't even be able to pull it up on my name because I will never tell you what it was.
I will deep dive into the internet. Listen, don't challenge the fucking internet.
I'll just let you know.
The internet is undefeated.
I'll just let you know that I was on the Bob and Tom show around 2003, and I might have been the worst guest that they ever had. They pumped me up as a football player from the Arizona Cardinals, which I was not. And I tried to tell my manager, why did you tell them I was a former NFL football player with the Arizona Cardinals? I was not. So anyway, all right, so here we go. You want to know, this is supposed to be a story about why.
Right. You left comedy.
I left comedy. So I started doing what the picture guy was doing as my sales thing. I was like, man, I talked to the dude. I was like, how much does it cost to get one of those cameras? How much does it cost to get one of those setups? I would love to make keychains. I need to make money on the road. I feel like if I sold keychains, I could make good money. He was like, you could, man. You make great money. And he's like, he was like, I've tried to set people up in this business.
In the keychain business.
In the keychain business. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, I'm in.
That's like the most random shit.
All right.
Keychain.
All right, fine, whatever. When you
So
have,
crazy.
Hey, look, you know what? You know what? This is what I found out. Fucking chicks love to have a keychain with a picture of them and their boyfriend on the keychain of them having a special night. And by the way, I would like to say this, that Polaroid camera took the best fucking pictures anybody's ever taken in their life. And these people love it. People use that for their wedding photo. They love that picture so much. So here's what I used to, but this is what I used to have to do as a comic on the road. No bullshit.
Okay.
I used to have to show up an hour to an hour and a half before the show. Which if you're the headliner, you want to walk in when the show is starting. Because you're going to have to watch the MC, you're going to have to watch the feature, you're going to have to sit there all that time, and then you finally get to go. So I used to have to show up before the first person walked in the room. And no one ever knew who I was because I wasn't famous.
Right.
So I would have my Polaroid camera. The only people that knew who I was were the people that worked at the club. And I asked them specifically, I was like, don't tell people who I am. So they would come in and I'd be like, hey folks, real quick, get together, press your faces together, say hello, let me take a picture. And sometimes people were like, because back then that's what they did on cruise ships, that's what they did at amusement parks, that's what they did everywhere you went. There was always somebody trying to take it. And people were like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. But I tried to be really, really nice about it. I'd be like, hey man, squeeze together real quick, I'm gonna take a great picture of you. And I sat there, click, 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 taking picture after picture after picture, knowing full well that nobody wanted their picture taken, but I had a great pitch.
Okay.
So I would take the picture, and I would then after I would have all the pictures laid out, and I had to carry a table with me and everything. So I'd sit there and I'd click the camera. There was a special tool to click the Polaroid into the size of the key ring. So I would click the Polaroid into the size of the key ring, and I would have to put it in the key ring, and I have to put the key ring, and I would have to put the back of the key ring, and so now it's inside the key ring, and now I have to set it out on my display. I had to do all that with the MC and the feature actor up, and I have it ready by the time I did my set.
He's a legit Chinese manufacturing.
He's over there. Fucking work.
He's working his ass off.
And I'm getting all these things laid out. But all right. So now, first of all, I've got the best picture of this couple that they've ever had in their life. And I've had some people tell me to fuck off. All right. And so here was my pitch. First of all, when I walked up on stage, I'd be like, yeah. Y'all motherfuckers had no idea who the fuck I was when y'all walked in this fucking club. Some of y'all told me to fuck off. I'd be like, that's cool. I'd go on, blah, blah, blah. I'd do my set. They'd give me the light at like 10 minutes. They'd be like, you got 10 minutes. Here's the light. You got 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, folks. And by the way, just so that y'all know, when I was a fucking headliner, I crushed the fucking room. I left the room, the room would be like, what? Who the fuck is this guy? This is the funniest fucking guy.
So I know what you do now. What kind of material did you do back then?
Relationship humor.
Okay.
It was all relationship. It was all about being married. It was all about, putting together a desk from IKEA. It was all about, It was simple. It was like, hey, you know what it's like being married? I'll tell you what it's like being married. When you're single, you go out and party all night long. When you're married, your friends call you and they're like, dude, let's go out and party all night long. And you're like, dude, it's 9:30 at night. I'm fucking in bed.
Right.
I've been in bed for 2 hours, bitch. That was my whole.
Right, it was the whole thing. And that was pretty popular. But that comedy was the Seinfeld days for sure. Right.
I used to look like the guy from Will and Grace. I did. That's who I looked like. That was my opener. I'd be like, I know you guys are all sitting there and you're looking like, and you're saying to yourselves, oh my God, the dude from Will and Grace is here. And I'd be like, let me tell you, it's not easy to pick up chicks when you're walking around a bar and you're going, just Jack. That was my whole. That was it. That was what I did. I'm telling you, you wanted a story. I'm
Yeah.
giving you a story.
All right.
All right. So anyway, this was my pitch. This is my pitch for my key ring back in the day. This
Okay.
is what I used to say back in the day. I used to get to the point I'd be like, all right, folks, I get it. The show's almost over. Y'all are waiting for my big closer. But before I do my big closer, I want y'all to know this. I'm the headliner of this club, and they're not paying me jack fucking dick. So I know every single one of y'all saw me on your way into the club taking your fucking picture, and you're like, some of y'all were like, fuck you, I'm not letting you take my picture. But here's what I want you to fucking know. I'm a comic struggling to fucking make my way on the goddamn road. And the reason I take those pictures is I take your picture, I press it out, I put in a little key ring. They're all sitting in the back of the room. There's key rings on a fucking table in the back of the fucking room. Every one of y'all, the best picture you've ever seen of your goddamn fucking life of yourselves. And this is what I would like to say to you ladies. This is what I want to fucking say to you. If your man brought you here tonight, and he fucking said, hey baby, let's go to the fucking comedy club. I'm gonna pay for your drinks. You had some laughs. You bought you a little fucking pizza or whatever the fuck they're serving back there. I want you to fucking know this. Your man has spent $100 fucking dollars. And if he walks you to the back of that fucking room, and he buys that little key ring with a little picture of y'all together, and I promise you this, you're going to show it to every fucking friend you have. Every friend you have, you're going to walk up to them and go, oh, look at this key ring. We went with Billy the other night to the fucking comedy club, and he bought me a key ring, and there's a picture of the two of us, and your friend's going to be, oh my God, that's the best picture I've ever seen. You guys look so great. And, oh my God, Billy's the greatest guy in the fucking world. Let me tell you this. If your man bought you a fucking seat to this, ticket to this show, and all your drinks, and bought your food, and he takes you to the back of the room and he buys that little keychain for you on the way out of the fucking club, you better give him road fucking head on the way home from the fucking club tonight. I want you to give him road head. I want everyone in this room to give your man road fucking head. You deserve road head, dude. You deserve road head, dude. You deserve road head. And let me explain something to you. I want so much road head to be given in this town that I want it to make the paper tomorrow. I want to wake up in the morning and read the paper and be like, oh my God, there were guys driving around all night long with huge fucking smiles on their faces. They weren't even going anywhere. They were just driving around in fucking circles all goddamn night. And I want to say this to all you motherfuckers who told me to fuck off. Every single one of you that told me to fuck off, I want you to never get fucking head again in your fucking life. And that was the end of my pitch. That was my pitch.
All right.
Yeah. Don't fuck with me. Sometimes people would throw shit at me while I was doing it, but then I finished stuff. I always had a good closer. Back then. But anyway, so that's, and I got to the point where I was doing the pitch for my keychain harder than I was doing my set.
That's funny.
And I just thought to myself, I was like, man, they were getting rid of Polaroid film. It was starting to get really hard to find. I couldn't find it anymore. I was like, man, you can't buy Polaroid film. How do I make these? What am I going to do? This is how I earn my living. It became that I was no longer a comic. I was a keychain salesman. That was all I was doing. And I was like, it's time to step away. I'm not doing what I started to do.
But you could have been a keychain millionaire.
I was becoming a keychain millionaire. I was.
I feel for them because like the last comic I saw at not the last one, but before I saw Kevin Hart down there when he was in Atlanta at Laughing School. But before that, I saw Chris Porter, who he's got a couple Netflix specials, like maybe 2 of them, and he's funny, but he sells 45s, and they're
I don't know what a 45 is.
Yeah, a record. a 45, like an old school vinyl record
Wow.
with his set on. And I don't have a record player, but the records are cool looking, and they were like
No,
they're
comics
like
have to come up with
yeah,
creative
something.
shit to sell.
they're like 20
they
bucks
have
or
to.
something.
Right.
So I bought both of them and I put them in my wall in my old
Sure.
house.
No, right.
you know,
Exactly.
because-
if you liked the guy,
Yeah,
well, let me just tell you this. When I would sit in the back of the room when I did that, guys would come up to me. And the funniest thing they loved to say, they'd walk up to me and they were like, I want my road head. And I would look at the woman and I'd be like, well, he's giving me the $5. He better get the road head. And I feel like
Load
I
it
was
up.
responsible for a lot of road head back then.
that's funny.
I did. In club after club for probably, I did that for like 2 years. And, you know, I had a son and he was young and I wasn't spending any time with him. And my ex-wife was
Yeah.
giving me shit. And, and like I said, it became really hard to find the biggest thing, the obstacle that I had
With Polaroid
was how
film.
difficult it became to find Polaroid film. They were like, man, they're not going to make it anymore.
That's wild.
As I started buying it from places, and then I started having to order it off the internet, which I didn't really know how to do. And then my ex-wife and I broke up, and she was the one doing it, and I didn't have that anymore. And the girl that I was dating at the time, after I'd broken up with my ex-wife, was like, so now you're just gonna make $150 a night? And I was like,
I'm
Are
also
you-
going to make $7 in keychains.
I can't sell the keychain.
That's
I tried
crazy.
selling the shot glasses. My car got broken into. The shot glasses got stolen. It was just
Someone needed shot
I was
glasses
like,
back.
and I looked at it and I looked at the situation and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna get out of this for a little while and I'm gonna make some money and I'm gonna work and I'm gonna get back to it when the time is right. And then it took me almost 10 years from the time I did my last paid show till I was able to put my life together enough to do an open mic. It took almost 10 years, and it was 10 painful years. It was the whole time I did that 10 years, I felt like I was in prison. I kept, people would be like, this is all you do? This is who you are? And I wanted to scream to them, no, I'm a stand-up comic. I used to sell keychains. I worked with famous people. You see that famous guy, you see that famous guy, you see that famous guy. I knew that famous guy. I used to work with that famous guy. I was friends with that famous guy. I knew Tosh. Daniel
Tosh.
I knew Daniel Tosh.
I wonder what he's doing now.
I don't know, but I remember what he was doing before he became Daniel Tosh.
Right before he got
he
somehow he got that show and didn't get canceled through all that shit.
That's
Maybe now I don't know if it's still on
he used
cable.
before that, he did Taco Bell commercials. He did Taco Bell commercials for a little while. That was his
Tosh.0.
break. And then Taco Bell paid him a lot of money, and then Comedy Central booked him for that thing, and I was like, man, he's doing exactly what I wish I was doing. You know, I mean,
That's just the way. That's just Hollywood, man. It's just you get it or you
well,
don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
my friends kept saying,
here today, gone
you gotta
tomorrow.
get it. I'll tell you who, and I'll reach out to him. This is a reach out, because he was definitely my truest friend, and he lives in Atlanta, and he's represented by the guys that represented all the blue collar guys, and I don't know that he ever became famous, but truly one of my very best friends. We used to have heart to hearts on a regular basis. I loved him. I saw his stand up. He saw me the day that I did Bob and Tom. He was in Indianapolis. I went and saw his set. We talked that night after Bob and Tom basically kicked me out of the studio. He gave me a pep talk that night, and I've missed him, and I love him, and I would love to see him again. And I know he doesn't know me anymore because my name is different. But his name is Stuart Huff. And Stuart, if you are out there, and there's any way, I've reached out to you on Facebook, but my name is different, so I know you don't even know me. We were tight, man. You were my friend. I mean, I loved you. And if you're out there and I know you're still doing stand-up, because I went to a club in Atlanta and they had a whole video of you. And your beard is gray And we were young back then. We were both young. I was young as fuck. I looked like the dude.
That
from
guy?
Will and Grace.
Is that him?
Absolutely.
It says he's a musician.
He's a musician.
Well, that's
now?
what shows up. Music. It says comedian, junk collector. So he collects
By the
shit.
way, he was crazy back then.
All right, so we got to find
was
Stuart
awesome.
Huff.
He was awesome. He was awesome.
We'll find
Dude,
him. He's out
dude,
there. Dude, the
he was-
internet is
he was a
undefeated.
legit friend. He was a legit friend. He was represented by man, who's the guy that owns the Punchline in Atlanta? He repped all the blue collar guys, and he repped Stuart Huff, and he repped Billy Gardell. He got Billy Gardell that show. I was there for all that shit. I was there when all that shit happened, and I wasn't like a part of it. I was just an observer.
Right.
I was like the background of the background. Like his manager used to make fun of me when I would go on stage. He'd be like, "This guy will never do anything." And I used to think to myself, I'm obeying your rules. I'm doing what you want. Why are you making it so? And this is what I would advise anybody. This is the advice I would give to any human being that's out there, whether it's stand up, no matter what it is you want to do, man. Do not do what everyone tells you you should do. Do what you believe. Because what everyone tells you you should do is wrong. And what you believe in yourself, that is what is, because that's what I'm doing now. I'm at the point in my life, I had to get to the point in my life where I had nothing. And everyone had abandoned me. Following the rules that everyone told me to follow. Working the jobs people told me to work. Wearing the clothes people told me to wear. Having the hairstyle people told me to have. And I listened and I was like, all right, these people know better than me. They know what I should do. And I got to tell you, man, as soon as I finally started to just do what I believed, everything in my life changed. And here I am doing what I love, talking to y'all about my life and getting to share with you these crazy ass experiences that I had. And I'll keep doing it. I will never stop talking about believing in yourself. And that's the only thing I want you to take away from what I say. Don't listen to all the drunken El Toro bullshit. Listen to yourself and believe in yourself. And whatever you want to do in your life, listen to your own mind. If I could go back, because man, I listened to everybody else. I didn't believe in myself. I had no confidence. I thought what they were telling me was right and what I believed was wrong. And it's not that way. And that's what I tell that to my son. My son's 18. I tell him that every day. I'm like, just don't listen to me. Don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to anybody else. Listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. And believe in yourself. That's it. And we're gonna try something new today.
We're gonna try something new. We got I want a couple quick topics maybe to talk about, but I do want to try something new. Man, look, it could end terribly bad. But
Look,
this
show ends terribly.
Yeah,
bad.
sometimes.
That's what
I saw this pop up on Facebook. Someone on my Facebook feed shared this story, and I had to look it up because I was like, "There's no way, is that real?" Because we literally just the other day talked about the Olympics, and this article pops up. Simone Biles is so dominant that scoring rules are holding her back for the safety of others and keeping competitors closer than they should be. They're literally in the Olympics telling the best gymnast on earth she's too good and that the moves she does are dangerous for other competitors to even try. I have, but isn't that crazy as hell?
Well, first of all, being a fan of hers and loving everything that she does. And by the way, if you ever want to be inspired in your life, if you ever want to truly talk about somebody who had to believe in themselves, Simone Biles, how tall is she?
I don't know, 3'6". She's a small human.
A small little person.
Right.
And so here's what I know about being small, because I'm not a big person. I'm a small person. You're a tall guy. I'm not a tall guy. When you're small, no one believes in you at all. And when you tell people you're going to do something, people are kind of like, all right, whatever. Good luck. You're small. You're really not going to do anything. The world is for big people. The world is for tall people. Simone Biles can fucking do anything. And not only do it, she can do it with ease.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
She is the most naturally born, gifted, and I will also say, I am sure she has worked hard on her talent. She's taken natural gifts that she's been given and become far beyond. She does shit that blows people's fucking mind.
You're not lying. And it's crazy that they're giving her scores that are in line with gymnasts that are far less than her.
She should be, if the score is on a 1 to 10, she should be getting like a 37.
Well, they're shutting it down, man. Could you imagine being so good at something that, like, you're so far beyond? She's basically the Khabib Nurmagomedov of Olympics.
She's so much better than the other people that are doing gymnastics that there is literally no comparison between how much better she is and the other. She's better than Michael Phelps was versus swimmers. Michael Phelps won 23 medals as a swimmer. He's better as a gymnast than Michael Phelps was. Look, here's
crazy, man.
All right, here's what I'll say. But for the people that don't give a shit about the Olympics, because I know there's some people out there that are like, whatever, the Olympics, whatever, the Olympics, they're gonna kneel during the fucking national anthem. I heard people on Fox.
I saw that.
Say that they are going to root against the American team.
They lost.
By the way,
soccer team lost.
The Patriots at Fox, the I Love America Patriots of Fox, are going to root against the American team. Here's what I would want. You want to talk about unifying? You want to talk about bringing the world together? Let me tell you this. The whole world is going to be watching the floor routine of Simone Biles. The whole world is going to be watching it. When it's on live, if you have a chance, and I don't know if that I'm going to, because I don't have like regular stable access to a TV. I have to work. I have to go into my job. I don't know if it's going to be on. I don't know what the schedule is going to be.
They're going to be watching it, man.
But I would say this to anybody to the 4 people listening to our show. I will say this to you. Watch Simone Biles do the floor. And she knows that the entire world is going to be watching. And there's a lot of people that fucking hate her and want her to do shitty.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
Not only are there people in other countries that want her to do shitty so they can beat her and get the gold, there are people in America that fucking don't want her to do well, that are like, she wears a leotard that has the goat on it. Do you know what GOAT stands for?
Yeah. Does she really? I didn't see that on the.
Do you know what that stands for?
Yeah, the greatest of all time, man.
Greatest of all time. Because that's what they refer to her as. Because people were mocking her with that. People were like, you're Simone Biles. You're the greatest of all time. She's like, yeah. You think I'm scared of you calling me that? I'll put a goat on my fucking leotard. Fuck you. Here's a goat. Here's the goat on my fucking leotard. You want a shirt that I would fucking... You want a shirt that I would endorse?
Yep.
Simone Biles is the GOAT.
Okay.
I would put that fucking shit on my body.
You're gonna have one on tomorrow.
And I will wear it tomorrow night at the fucking on this show, and I'd be like, Simone Biles is the GOAT. Fuck you, bitches.
There we go. It's coming up.
All right.
If anyone will make a shirt in a couple hours, it's this dude right here.
All right. Simone Biles is the GOAT. Blow my ass.
All right, what do you got?
All right.
You got anything you want to do? You want to do some Omegle? Want to do it? We'll see what happens. So I had this idea.
To the guest.
Yeah, so I got stuck in this YouTube rabbit hole the other night watching a rapper named Harry Mack, and he's awesome. He's amazing.
Yeah, I saw him. He's good.
He's
really good.
Very good.
Very talented guy.
And he's got a whole series on YouTube. You can find him, and he goes on Omegle, and he gets people to give him 3 random or more random words, and he does some of. Yeah, those kids were like it was a lot, and he does a freestyle rap. He includes all the words. It's amazing. But I've never used Omegle. I don't know, man. I just never got it. I didn't know anything about it. So I jumped on there after watching him for way too long, and was like, I'm going to check this out. So we're going to pull up Omegle, and we've got some interests that we typed into the bar there. And what we're going to do is see who pops up. Now, I have no control over who's going to show up in this window, but if they're a shit show, they'll leave, or we can X them out. We can escape out of them as well. But we're trying to just bring some people to the show and talk about some events here. So the topics of interest. The goal is to
have interesting conversation.
Right. Yes, to have another interesting conversation.
Since
it's the internet,
I've been cut off on this show. We know that other people who are not bringing interesting conversation to the show, they will be cut off as well.
Yes.
So if you're gonna bring an interesting conversation, we're gonna have look. There's nothing I love better than interesting conversation.
Yeah. So we have some topic interests that are in our thing here, which is politics, world events, climate change, racial inequality, police brutality, LGBTQ, greed, capitalism, socialism, and fascism. So we're supposed to be paired with people who also want to discuss similar topics.
All right.
So what we got to do is we got to put on headphones so we can hear them, and it doesn't affect our audio, which Marshall hates the headphones. I'm not the biggest fan of the headphones either, but if we don't wear them, the audio will go to absolute trash. So we're putting them on, and we're going to hit the button here, and we're going to hold on because I don't know who's going to show up there. Obviously, we're probably a lot of people that do not want to talk to us on a podcast, but I'm sure we'll stumble across somebody who's interested. So we're going to give this one a shot. I don't have a name for the segment, but I mean, we should probably call it the shit show.
People have always loved listening to me talk to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, we'll just roast them.
Nah,
that'll be great.
Look, I'm not going to roast people.
Could be fun.
You know why? I can roast people way better than they can roast me.
We'll see where it goes.
I'll issue that challenge.
We'll see where it goes.
I'll actually put it out there as a warning. All of you. I will say to anybody out there on Omegle. If you're on Omegle, I'm going to tell you this. Don't fuck with me on Omegle. I will embarrass you, and I don't want to. But
we could do a whole You Look Like segment on Omegle one day. A whole You Look Like segment.
I look like what?
No, that's what we would call it. You look like. Everything you say starts with you look like.
That's this.
It's hilarious. No, we should though. If it goes south, we will change our categories.
I have a mullet, so I know I'm going to be the ugliest person.
That's all right. Let's hit the button. Let's see who shows up.
Let's see.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. What is happening here? Someone's sitting in bed. What you got? Some blue hair?
Move on.
All right, next. Let's see what we get here. What's happening?
Yo, what's good, bro?
What's happening?
Hey, yo, we on a podcast.
There you go.
Bring it up. What you got?
Hey, question for you.
Sure.
Cosmic brownies or zebra cakes?
Cosmic brownies or zebra
I'm going
cakes?
zebra cakes.
Oh no, cosmic brownies, bro.
Zebra cakes. For sure.
All right, Trey. It's. Why do you get? Hold up.
So what you got? We're on a timeline here.
Move on.
Next. All right. What's happening, champ?
Talk to me,
Oh
bro.
my God. What is that? Is this a podcast? What is this?
This is a conversation about politics. You said you like politics. What you got?
Sure. Do you like Joe Biden?
Love Joe Biden. He's hilarious.
Really?
He's the best comedian we've
What
got.
do you think about Joe Biden? What do you think about Joe Biden?
What do I think about him? I think he should have retired a long time ago.
All right. And what would you do instead?
I would probably break up the union,
Break up what union? What are you talking about?
the United States of America.
Oh, you want to break up the country?
Yeah, I think everywhere would be better to live if it was more locally run. So in that sense, yes.
Okay. What do you think would be done different?
Well, to make it
No,
short
I'm
and
listening.
sweet,
I'm
if you have
listening.
a
No, I'm
more
listening
local
to you.
if you have more local control, you have a bigger slice of your democracy and you have more say in what goes on where you live. And I think right now the whole country is so reliant on the federal government for everything. And I don't think that's good. I think it's very bad.
Okay. So if the local government was in charge, what would they do different?
Well, they would do what the people want because they would actually have to listen to them. But right now, people aren't engaged enough to actually do anything where they live. So if you want, say, an
Well,
infrastructure
all right.
project,
All right.
the federal government has to do it and they give funding. So the states pay out all these taxes and then the federal government just redistributes that somewhere else. I don't think that's good. So you have all these states now that are, well, they're takers. So you have certain states that are makers, and they make all the money and then they give it to the federal government, and the federal government goes and gives it to a bunch of people who aren't doing anything good with it. And I think that's bad.
Okay. So if they gave you the money and you were in charge of the money, what would you do with it?
Well, I'm not sure.
Oh man, you got to be sure, man.
Gotta have a plan.
You can't be mad at the people that are giving the money away and
No, I can't be.
and not have a plan for what, because that's what happens when you're upset with the way the money is being distributed. They're gonna come at you eventually. All right, let's say a bunch of people agree with you. I agree with you. I think our government does a shitty job of distributing money. They do a terrible job. But, all right, now we're all mad at the government. And we're like, oh, God, we're mad as shit at the government. We don't like the way the government's giving money away. And
Yeah.
somebody is like, okay, well then, you're in charge of giving the money away. Who are you giving it to?
What we'll do is we'll wind down the size of the government dramatically, and then
Okay.
they won't have any money to be giving away.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, now they don't have any money to fix any of the
hold on.
problems.
No, you break them up. You break up the power, and then you take their power away. Okay, you divide it up, and then you take its power and influence away, and then it's not as large of an actor in your everyday life.
Wait, hold on.
So that's basically, so you could do your own little experiment like that and move to a small country in which there's a very few people we're governed by. That's very similar.
Sure. I mean, scale matters.
Scale
You live in
matters.
some big giant country, and you have to deal with all the problems that comes along with that.
All right,
You're
hold
in-
on. No. I want
It's
to hear.
true.
I want to hear a solution, man.
A solution to what? Name an issue, and we can talk
I
about
want to
solutions.
hear. I want to hear one solution. So you now, all right, you're mad about the way the government gives out the money.
Yes, government
So
is the problem.
I agree.
The
I agree.
money
I
is the
agree.
government.
I'm not against you. I'm on your side. I'm agreeing with you. So, and I'm trying to find other people like you. So I'm okay with what you're saying. So you're not in a fight here. But I'm asking you, I'm like, dude, you don't like what the government is doing to give away the money. Where would you put the money so that it could be used better?
I wouldn't, because I'm not a statist and I don't believe in
Oh,
using the
see,
power of the
okay, hold
state
on.
to tell everybody how to
hold
live their
on,
lives.
hold on.
This is
Okay, okay, all right,
fundamentally, you're
all
missing
right.
it. It's
No,
not
no,
about what I
no,
believe.
no, 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 no,
It's
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
for the
no,
government.
no, 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 no. I get you, dude. I am not. I am with you. I am with you. But I am saying, so you don't want the government to collect any money at all. So you don't want the government to exist.
No, I didn't say that.
Well,
said we should take away
I
the
said
power.
that. I said
I
that.
didn't say we can't have a government and can't have fire departments and public roads. I mean, come on now.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Okay. Well, then draw the line. Draw the line where you want to draw the line. Where should
I would say private everything except for some roads and some laws about property and
Okay. Well, hold on.
that's about it. And then you're
What
free to live
about
your life.
what about protecting individuals?
I believe that individuals should be protecting themselves through
Okay.
number one,
So-
law. I believe in the social construct of having some laws, right, in a society, and I also believe that people can protect themselves as well, and we don't need a massive government to do that. You can go and you can purchase an arm, and you can protect your land yourself, or you can hire someone to do it for you.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. So what about morality? Does morality play into
Morality? Who decides what's moral? That's an individual
I'm
decision.
hey bro, these are questions, man. You got to
They are
if you're
important
going to
questions
if
for
you're
an
going to
individual,
if
and I'm
you-
not going to use the state to tell people how to live their lives one way or another. That's what big government people do. That's what Joe Biden does. That's what Donald Trump did, and I
Right.
don't support that.
right? Well, look, I'm not again. I'm in total agreement with you that the government should not be making those determinations. I don't want to be at this angle. I don't like this angle.
That's right. So what do you do? What do you do moving forward to move toward your proposed idea? What's step one?
Well, it depends. Number one, I don't go out and I don't vote for people who are against my interests. That's one thing.
Okay.
And the other
Are
thing
you-
I do is I
are-
make a conscious effort to live my life the way I think is right. And when I do that, then I don't let the government use its coercive power to boss me around.
Okay. So how do you make your stand?
Your stand is
you
to
get a
not
group
vote.
of people together and you
Oh,
do that
okay.
democratically.
Have you
You can't,
organized?
as an individual,
Have you
assert
organized a
some
group
power.
of people? Have you organized a group of people?
Well, I know like-minded people, and we talk and we have conversations like
Sure.
this one.
Okay. We're talking to you right now. So what do the like-minded people think of your thoughts?
They think that they see a lot of stuff going on, and it's because everybody's trying to use the government to boss everybody else around, and that's bad. And all that power
I know. All right.
concentrated in one thing,
I get
not
what's
good.
bad. Look, I think we're all understand what's bad. I think we all get what's bad. What I'm trying to say is, what would be ideal? What would you? What's your idea of ideal?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, if you could resolve the issues that you're mad about, what would you want to see happen?
I would want to see the state and its power reduced greatly, and I would like to see individuals have more local control. And if you can just do that structurally, you free up a lot of issues.
I think you
So-
could make that happen. I think you could do that somewhere in a micro experiment. They would do that somewhere. If you got enough people together, they'd find you some land. They'd put some people out there, 1,000 people, start small, see if it works.
Well, I mean, that's already available to you. As an American, you can go to a parcel of land.
Oh, sure, I can do that, but it's not about trying to find a bubble within a big mess.
Okay,
It's about
okay.
wanting to get rid of the mess so that everyone can have freedom.
All right. Well, look,
Gotta start
nobody's
somewhere.
More for getting rid of the mess than I am. I am ready to get rid of the mess. So, if somebody has a suggestion, do you run for office? Do you get elected to something? Do you become an activist? Do you go to events where you?
Those are all really good considerations, and I
I'm-
think they have to be on the table. But I think everyone's different, and everyone has a calling. And some
What-
people, they want to live their lives, and they're not necessarily called to public office
true.
or activism or
Sure,
whatever.
sure.
But that
No.
doesn't mean that you can't be true to your principles.
Okay, well, hey man, I am trying. Believe me, we thumbed through about 10 people before we got to you. So I'm listening to what you say. I care about what you think, and I agree with most of what you're saying. My question is, how do we get? You're younger than I am. I've already lived. I don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, I'm already done. My as far as I'm concerned, I'm shocked to still be alive. I was you 20 years ago. So I'm saying to you, if you want to achieve what you're saying, are you going to do more than talk about it on the internet? Or are you going to actually go out there and try to make it happen?
I think what you're talking about is there's a term for that. It's called praxis, and it's what you do to make your beliefs real. And
Okay.
I think that having conversations is where you start.
Okay.
And so I'm never gonna beat anybody up and say, what are you
No,
gonna do
no.
to make?
It doesn't have to be
And
violent.
I'm not saying you're doing that, but as far as what's next, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. You can look historically and see examples. You have places where a country has been broken up, for example, and you have independence because one group of people says, I don't like how you're telling me to live my life and I want to do it on my own. It's still happening today. You have, even in the UK, you have a smaller country like Scotland and Northern Ireland and Wales, and they have independence movements because they don't like how the English are bossing them around. So I think that there are a lot of ways it could happen. How it will happen, or will it happen? I don't know. But I'm gonna keep learning and I'm gonna keep talking to people.
Awesome.
Goddamn right, man.
All right, what's your name, boss?
I love your strength, bro. I love your strength.
What's your name over there?
I don't give out my identification.
That's all right. Make a name up.
You ain't got it. You ain't got it.
Make one up.
You can call me Don Jr.
Don Jr. All right.
Hey, man.
The real Don Jr. You got to put the real in front of it
I
so you
enjoyed
can get
listening
verified.
to you, bro. I enjoyed listening to you,
Well,
man.
you
Well, good luck.
keep having interesting conversations, and you'll find a lot of people who feel the same way. I think. You'd be
Okay. Well,
surprised.
hey, you know what? The only way that we can bring those people together is for people to continue talking to each other and not just individually. So, just become a part of something and don't just sit there solitary and express your opinions, but become a part of something to make a difference.
There you
Oh,
go.
absolutely. And I think there is a movement brewing, and I think it will
Well,
start.
talk to me. What is it? What
I
is
think
it?
it's going to start with some independence. I think some of these states are going to say, I'm fed up and I don't want to do this anymore. And they're going to rebel against the federal government. I think it's going to happen. I think
Well,
it's already happening.
Didn't Texas want to secede again? That was pretty recent. Texas was like,
Well,
I'm out.
yeah, but I mean, we have a process for
Where do you
having
live? Where do you live?
states exit. I live in the Northeast.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So you're most likely in a blue state.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
swing state. But
Okay. Yeah.
it's no idea.
All right.
Right
Where do
on.
you live?
We're in Georgia.
We're in Georgia.
Okay. Well, you're blue now.
Yeah. Fuck.
You should have turned out the vote.
Ah.
Let me assure you of this. I ain't no fucking color other than the fucking color that I fucking believe in. That's the only fucking color I am. I am the color that I believe in. And what I believe in is being free. I believe in being able to speak my mind. I believe able to say what I want. I be able to live the way that I want. That's what I fucking believe in. And I'm trying to find people who just want to live their lives without being fucked with. I want to be, you know what, man? I like to chill. I don't even want to be involved in this bullshit. I'd like to just fucking enjoy my life. I'd like to wake up every day and be able to just be happy and just be fucking enjoying myself. But that ain't the way the world is right now. And if you aren't paying attention and if you aren't ready to fucking fight, then, dude, somebody else is going to come and try to squash you fucking down. Whether it's a government, or whether it's some other motherfucker, and tell me you don't feel the same goddamn way. Somebody could fucking knock your ass right off that fucking couch, and it would just be a fucking blip in the fucking world. Nobody
Sure.
would give a flying fucking shit.
That's true.
Right or wrong?
They could
Tell
no
me I'm
knock you,
wrong.
come right in, knock you right off your ass.
Well, I have protection. So
Oh,
that
okay.
doesn't happen.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway.
All right,
it was
Don.
good talking to you.
Absolutely.
You have your
Good luck to you, boss.
Good luck, brother. Nice to meet you,
Bye-bye.
man.
Let's see who else we get up in here. Sometimes the same people. What's happening over here?
Sure. Why not? How are y'all?
I got a dog.
All right.
LGBTQ, right? That's the topic.
Yeah, sure. What
Yeah.
are y'all doing? Hey, I love dogs. What kind of dog you got?
What?
Looks like a Jack Russell.
What kind of dog is that?
Can't hear a word you're saying.
All right. Well, you're going to need some better equipment over there. We'll go to the next one.
That was a good talk with that dude.
Yeah.
No.
We'll find somebody. He's back. We'll keep going. What's happening? Gone. What you got there, man? You got a mask on inside. All right. We're just gonna. Might have to take LGBTQ off of the table. We're gonna get some interesting one. Maybe some people looking for some
Take it off. Take it off.
some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take
Let's see here. Let's where's our settings here? Let's remove that. Let's remove that one.
Thought
We're
that
gonna
would
get some
open us up.
interesting
to some-
folk. It's opened up something. What's happening? Come on now. Some people are fast.
Oh, we're getting blocked.
Yeah, there's some people just skip you over. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on?
What you
Free
got
as
there on your
fuck.
topic? Free as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you got some Alex Jones up there? Is that who that is? It's small on my screen. Looks like it.
What do you do, man? Tell me about yourself.
There you
I'm
are.
watching this guy.
Yeah, all right. Watching InfoWars.
What do you think?
I'm from Europe.
Okay. We are
what
from
do you-
Georgia,
We're
United
from
States.
Georgia, here in America.
Oh, isn't that where they stole like a bunch of votes for Sleepy Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did. Not only did they do it, we did it. We individually stole the votes. We're the people. We're the people that committed the
You're
crime.
busted.
You,
Live.
You're talking directly to the people that committed the
No, you're
crime.
using an American flag. There's no way you would do that.
No, that's hey,
you're
look,
very
we are
accurate in
here-
your assessments.
We are here. We are here to commit crimes.
So tell me, how long have you been
An
watching?
American flag, you know, I know you're like good, you know. If
Oh,
you
okay.
think
All right. Hey,
So
man.
how long have you been watching Alex Jones?
12 years.
Okay, so you're well versed in the entire history of Mr. Jones. I like watching Alex. He's well, he's a little different currently. I think he's just
Yeah, it's a
look,
bit
man.
different, but I mean,
Yeah, he's a little worn out, man. Look, man, that's how that dude went through some shit. you know? Dude.
and especially like the new people who started like getting into this stuff because of COVID are
Yeah.
kind of like retarded, you know.
Yeah, I mean, have you
They
listened
think,
to
like, I know everything. COVID is a fraud, and now I know everything what's going on. Like, no,
have you listened to Alex Jones in pertains to the January 6th event in America?
oh yeah, he said I saw like something on the show that they put his and Owen's pictures and other people's pictures, like.
Yeah, it's a
up
pretty
on
big
the
deal.
FBI
He's got a
website.
pretty long podcast, maybe a 45-minute podcast about it. It's pretty good listen, but it's definitely not the Alex Jones that you have on your screen there. That one there was gay frogs and Pizzagate, Epstein. Now look, Alex Jones is right about a lot of crazy shit. Dude,
Yeah.
he was right about a lot of it. So what's the topic over there in the UK that's a hot topic for you?
I'm in Netherlands, but
The
I'm
Netherlands.
Croatian.
Oh, okay. All right.
But here everything is open. Like there is no necessity for mass or anything. Like, I don't know, like shops and stuff is open like until midnight or
What do you
whatever.
do? What
Like
do you do?
I work in a warehouse.
All right. Over
Yeah,
here,
so I mean, even
they're looking at locking stuff down again back in America.
oh yeah, but now I'm just watching the fucking video, and Alex is talking like they started already in like Australia. One person that was 80 years old died, and they had like 100 positive of 82,000 tests, and they locked down 1 million people. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
There's a guy that follows my channel. He is from Perth, and he has he's shared a lot about what's happening in Australia. He actually had one case in all of Perth, and they closed it down. You could not leave your house. You would be arrested or fined if you left your house. So there was a lot happening there. And yep, that's our channel there. We got a bunch of content, politically and funny and comedy and stuff. So give us a check us out. We do a bunch of fun stuff. But we're out here. This is our first night on Omegle, looking for some fun conversations to spur up in the political sector and
Hey,
hot
man,
topics.
I enjoyed listening to you. I hope. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish?
I don't know. I'm trying to like. I invested in, like I'm investing in like cryptocurrency and stuff.
Oh
so
shit!
Okay.
This guy knows all about it.
Yep, I know a good bit about the
yeah.
crypto world.
I
I would
started
love to.
investing like 7 years ago or something. Like
Oh, okay. So you'd be doing all right if you were holding on from 7 years ago. You'd be doing just
Yes, yes, very good.
fantastic. Yeah, very good.
like especially for my country, like Croatia. You know, the money that I made on cryptocurrencies is literally like amount of money that people work all their lives in this
Right.
country. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing. There was a news story today in America. Someone in California was arrested on federal crimes for basically pump and dumping crypto. And I think the scam was more like he was getting people to invest into smaller altcoins and almost managing it for them, and then pumping it up socially on social media and etc. and getting their money and then selling at the top and then letting them lose it all. It was about $9 million. That just popped up today on my news
Yeah,
feed.
that's crazy.
It is pretty
But
wild.
you know about the BitConnect scam?
Yeah, I do. I am
Oh yeah,
familiar with
like
that.
I invested like in BitConnect like when it was like starting. You know, I mean, I made like actually I made a lot of money from it, but again when it crashed, I also lost. But I was
Yeah.
still like in profit. But I mean, this was like one of the biggest crypto scams I think like ever, man.
Yeah.
People like invested their mortgages and everything into BitConnect.
Yeah, man.
And then one morning it was like 36 cents from like $300. It was
Oh,
like,
it's
what
unreal.
the-
I'm amazed by all the
Yeah.
ones that keep popping up. I did a video maybe about 2 months ago, and I should have bought it. I should have when Cum Rocket came out and the Cummies, and that was a story. It made the news here because it went up like 26,000% overnight. And it was, if you're not familiar with the coin, it was billed to be the Bitcoin or the crypto of the adult NFT market. So the adult, all the pornography market and adult entertainment was going to use this coin. And I thought, well, that's $1 billion business. So, and it actually did. It went from, 0.000 whatever up to about, it spiked at like 26 cents. Which is a pretty significant
lot of money.
gain, So yeah, crypto is an interesting space. I actually listened to Tim Pool podcast today with a guy who he was 22 and he's a Bitcoin millionaire off of Bitcoin. He started investing when he was like 14 years old buying Bitcoin. So
Yeah, man, I'm really like I'm really glad and happy like when I see like young people when they like turn 18 or they're like 22 and they're already like set for like basically for their life just because they did some research on the internet.
it's fascinating.
So crazy.
It is, and they're risk takers, man. And look, some of these coins you got to go to Narnia to buy the shit. You don't lie. I mean, it's like
Yeah. I mean,
you better find a magic door.
I know how it was like when I started like investing and stuff. I would hear people say, "Yeah, you should like buy this coin because I don't know this and this," and I would decide, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy." But then I had to like find like some fucking left website, you know, that's like really unpopular, whatever, but only this website would sell this coin, and then you must keep it on this website because there's no other wallets
Right.
that you can transfer this
Yeah.
currency.
Very complicated. All right, man. What are you gonna do with all your financial freedom?
I mean, I'm currently like renovating. I live on a coastline, like in Croatia, and like my family has some property and stuff, and we are like I'm investing into the property, like renewing it, you know, like modernizing
Yeah.
it, and we are renting also this property. Like we have a property where we stay during summer, and during summer we rent the other property
Awesome.
and stuff.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate the conversation. We're going to keep on moving, but
Yeah,
thanks
sure,
for joining the show. Check us out, and good luck to you, buddy.
Being free as fuck.
There you go. You too, man. Do your best.
Good to talk to you, bro.
Oh, you're missing, and oh, dude.
That was an interesting hairstyle that one had. That was like a flash to
Wow,
the
that is
80s.
a lot of tags. Politics, socialism,
And we got a
capitalism,
bunch.
fascism.
Yeah, Marshall loaded it up. What you got? What's your tag?
Man, am I on a podcast or something?
Yeah, or something.
Something like that. Well, hey, I'll just say I don't care about politics. What I do care about is what is good for white people should be applied and what is bad should not be applied.
All right. Sorry.
All right, interesting. What's up?
Sorry.
Not interested. All right, we'll keep moving. What's happening?
Yo.
What you got there? Politics and fascism are your
Oh, yeah.
topics of discussion.
What do you think?
What?
I'd love to know what you think.
About what? What do I think about?
Fascism.
I don't know. It's kind of there, you know, the two lizard people controlling the world, you know, and Joe Biden and Trump raping the same girl in Sri Lanka.
Right? So what should we do
Yeah.
about it?
You know, I just think we should wait for Mongolia to rise up, and the Mongolian hordes will, you know, take care of Israel for us.
You think the Mongolian hordes are going to rise up?
Yeah, man.
Where are you?
You know. What?
Where are you?
I'm in the Mongolian plains of Finland. I'm a fellow Mongoloid.
Okay.
Okay.
On the other side of the pond, we are out here, obviously in America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So the Mongolian hordes are ready to start some shit?
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Hey, man.
Hey, man, they make some mean ass beef over here. I know that. It's delicious. One of my favorite dishes, Mongolian beef.
I would just
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I would just say this. I would be like, hey, man, what do you think we should do better? What do you think we should do better as Americans?
Shit, man. Maybe you know.
I mean, here's your moment.
I don't know how the fuck would America do anything better. You know, you have American people there, so
Yeah, people
you know,
from
you can't
everywhere.
really- No, man, but you know, America is the land of the American people. You know, the fucking hoorah people. You know,
Right?
can't really, you know, control them much. So
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
you know, last time somebody tried to control you, you know, oh man, don't use alcohol, you know, and
Right?
everything, you know,
Right.
like the shit, you know.
We don't like to be controlled.
Yeah,
Do you?
kind of what you do.
Do you?
I mean, you know, us Europeans, we like a simple life.
Do you like to be controlled? Do you like people telling you what to do?
No, it's more like we just like, you know, hey man, maybe you shouldn't have a flamethrower and a grenade launcher, you know. And then we're like, oh yeah, I kind of understand why we shouldn't have a grenade launcher and a flamethrower. I think those are like military grade weapons.
Right?
Okay, that's fair. That's
That's
fair.
like, you know, where we kind of fall in.
Okay,
We're
that's
happy with, you know, the rifle, you know, so we can shoot the deer when they're eating our potatoes.
right on.
Do you grow potatoes?
Okay.
Yeah,
You do?
yeah,
That's your job? Grow potatoes?
No, it's like, we just eat our potatoes. We
No,
don't really
I'm
make a
saying-
living from them.
All right, I'm trying to make a personal connection to you. What do you do?
I'm in the army right now, so I don't really do shit.
Okay. All right. So you have the military grade weapons.
That's not true. That's not true.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Army
I have
guys-
an automatic rifle.
Okay.
All right.
You have to check it out from the armory, right?
I mean,
You don't have-
I'm,
you don't
I'm at
carry-
home right now,
Right,
so I don't
right.
have it with me.
You don't carry it around.
Yeah, it's in the barracks,
Okay.
waiting.
All
So
right.
what's the biggest military threat to Finland right now? Like, what do you
Uh,
guys
Russian
prepare for?
aggression,
Russian?
You think they're gonna come?
I mean, they went to Ukraine, and nobody stopped them.
Right.
Germany's like, hey, Russia, don't kill all the Ukrainians. Oh, you have an oil pipeline? Okay, then you can kill all the Ukrainians. We don't care. And then we are like, oh, what the fuck, man? Angela
Right.
Merkel is ready to sell off people just for oil.
Okay. All right.
So what are you prepared to do?
Well, militarily, Finland is fucked either way. So we don't really have, we just need to conserve potatoes so we can make,
Do you feel like you need help?
I mean, yeah,
I'm asking.
no shit.
I don't.
There's
I
like
don't. I
fucking
don't.
70 million Russians and 6 million of us.
Right.
And
Yeah, Russia's a big power.
And you have no support.
I mean, yeah, we are not in NATO, so we're kind of alone.
Right. Yeah. That's true.
So, what are you gonna do if they come to your house?
I would assume I would be the first one to be dead in the fields of Karelia, being in the army.
So you would fight to the death to defend your house.
Yeah.
Because-
like my grandfathers did, like their grandfathers did.
I'm gonna assume that they're not gonna just blow your house up. They're gonna knock on the door and they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, are you willing to go along?" And you're gonna be like, "No, I'm not willing to go along." Or do you
I
think
don't-
that?
I don't think the Russians really ask questions,
Oh,
They didn't really ask questions.
I'm asking. I'm
when
asking.
they went to Ukraine.
I'm not there. I'm not
Yeah.
there.
First of all, they would ask you, and you'd be like, "I don't know what you're saying. I don't speak Russian." Start with
Yeah.
that.
They would be like, oh yes, here's the new governor of your house. If you're
Yeah.
going to do something, we're just gonna military parade over your dead
So,
body.
so all right. So just so that I understand, so you sit in your house every day, and you wonder if somebody is just going to blow you up.
No, that's crazy. It's not doing
I mean,
that.
that's kind of like, I'm not really into the Illuminati level of conspiracy like you obviously are, but
No, I'm asking.
Well, what he's saying, Marshall, is that the closest military threat is Russia, but it's not.
It's not imminent.
Yeah, it's
like,
not imminent.
If there's
Yeah.
an enemy, it's Russia most likely.
Right. Yeah.
Or like
Okay, all right.
space Hitler.
Hey, man, man.
It's a new
I'm trying to
topic.
learn.
Yeah, we're just trying to learn.
from you.
The rest of the world, man. Look, we live in a place where most of the day is filled with a giant shit show.
There are people
That is the-
shooting guns
That is America.
outside the parking lot where I work all the
Yeah.
time. It's just guns. It's just guns. I'm just like, okay, you're shooting guns. I don't give a fuck. I ain't worried about guns. But if you're gonna blow, I'm like some people in the world live where people are gonna blow you up. Do you feel like somebody's gonna blow you up?
No.
Yeah, yeah, they're fine. No one's coming. No one's coming in to invade them. They're just the
all
place.
right. Well, I used to have a friend who lived in I don't know where he lived, somewhere in Russia, Ukraine. And he used to say to me, he'd be like, "Hey man, when there's some shit that goes down where I live and people start rioting and people start fighting, there is no authority. Nobody is going to come and stop whatever's happening. Is that where you live?
No, I live in fucking Finland, man. Nothing happened.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nothing has happened here, since
Yeah.
the 40s,
Yeah,
You
nothing.
made it sound like you were under a threat.
No.
No, they're fine. There's nothing
So
happening.
nothing's going to happen
Nothing's
to you.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. He's pretty bored in the military. He's growing potatoes.
So,
We literally just get drunk in the barracks.
I used to
Like,
do that.
literally.
The
I
nearest
used to do
threat
that.
is aliens to Finland at the
I
moment.
used to do that too. When I was in the military, I'm going to shave my head because of you, by the way. Just saying.
No, don't do that.
I think he should. He has a phenomenal mullet, and we could
It's
if he
time
does
for
it
me to
correctly,
shave my
we could
head.
make a wig out of it, and it would be phenomenal. It's going to take some
Time for
skill.
me to shave my head. You have inspired me to shave my head.
Okay, now I feel really bad.
What is let me ask you this. What's your opinion of American politics from Finland? What do you see in your news that you look at and go, that's fucking crazy? It's got to be
I
something.
just see demented old pedophiles,
Yeah.
trying to,
But Joe
we better
Biden.
ban menthol cigarettes
Joe Biden.
because
Well,
because of the lizard people in Israel.
yeah, so I've seen the news like in Australia they rag on Joe Biden hard on their news, and it's hilarious to watch if you get on there and you start watching it. But the news across the rest of the world mocks Joe Biden like relentlessly, and we
Well,
don't.
can I
Our
ask you
news doesn't
this?
really
Can
do
I
it.
ask you this?
Yeah.
What would you like to see from America? If you're in Finland, you're not under threat, you're not afraid. But if America could do its best for you, what would that be?
Shit, man.
Would you like us to kick the shit out of the Russians? Would you? Would you like to?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean,
Would
Russia
you
is
like
gonna
us to kick the shit out of the Chinese or the Russians? I'm asking.
I mean, I would say that you should, pressure China way more. Like the
Okay.
way that Trump,
All right.
when Trump made a lot of, he cut off trade with a lot of Chinese shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, everybody should do it. It's like a initiative, America
Okay.
was showing that, hey, man, maybe we shouldn't fucking buy slave fucking made products anymore.
Okay.
But, the rest of the world was, yeah, man, but that's the only place I can get my fucking plastic products from. And then they just kept on buying
Yeah.
shit from there.
All right. Okay. It's a fair argument.
Hey, man.
And China controls so much media and so much, pressure because of their industrial shit. All the
Yeah.
social media is like, yeah, man, this person from Taiwan. Oh, shit, I mean,
Right.
this non-existent garbage island floating next to China.
If they cannot talk about
There's so much
Taiwan.
censorship, and everybody's scared that Chinese. If the Chinese get angry, then your fucking market is gonna crash.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
do you believe that money is real?
I mean, yeah, the human brains made it real.
There you go.
As fucked up as they are.
No, I want to hear. Because it's not real. I know that you're smart enough. I know that you're smart enough to know that money is not real. But I want to hear
I mean,
what No, go
before
ahead.
we had
No,
money, we just
speak
used to
free.
trade fucking
This is
royalties
free as
and-
fuck. We're free as fuck. You can say what you want. I want you to really say what you believe. Don't say what people have told you to fucking say. I want you to fucking say, you know, I can tell you fucking know. Money is not fucking real. And you know it's not real. So don't fucking tell me it's real, because I've listened to you talk for a half an hour. So don't fucking tell me that you think money is real, because I know you're smart enough to know money is made up. It's fucking made up. So go ahead.
Before you say that, what's the minimum wage in Finland?
Shit, man, I don't fucking look this shit up.
Well, I mean,
I just-
like, what would
let's
be
see,
the lower wage in Finland?
minimum wage. Let's see what the fuck it is. What? I don't fucking understand economics.
Like your hourly wage. What's the lowest they pay? Like
The
for a
yearly
job.
minimum wage is $2,600.
All right, and that's
Which is really shit.
okay. What you guys are doing you're not part of the euro. You're not using euro currency, are you?
Yeah, we have euro.
You are. You are in euro, and so you said the minimum annual is what?
2,600 USD.
Holy shit!
Yearly minimum wage.
Jesus Christ! For a
But I
full-time
think
job,
that
that's
means like, I think that means that if you're like unemployed, that's like
Okay.
the minimum you can get in a year.
okay. So that would be kind of like their employment. If you go get a job, if you were a business owner, and you were going to hire somebody, what's the least amount of money you could pay them? Is it regulated in that way? You can pay them whatever you want, or is there a minimum in Finland?
Fuck, man.
No, man.
No idea.
Answer.
I don't know this. I'm not a fucking
I'll look it up.
Jew. I don't know much about fucking cash shit.
If you went and got a job, what would it be? All right, let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
You.
I mean, the last.
I want to
time
ask
was-
you this question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that money is real?
Well, scroll skins used to be money, just as much as money is today.
I.
You know,
You didn't
since the
answer-
dawn of time,
You didn't
us
answer my
monkey
question.
people used
You
to
didn't
trade
answer.
shit for shit.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. I'm asking you a question.
He did answer. He answered it before you got on your rant.
Money is real, just
He's-
as real as fucking anything, you know.
He said it's as real because you believe it's real.
Is it real as life?
I mean, yeah, you know.
Is it as real as time? Is it as real as breath? Is it as real as nourishment?
Yeah.
Is it real? Do you
It
need
is.
it?
I mean, we need it because we are made to need it in the society that we have.
Because
made.
you're indoctrinated to need it. Right or wrong?
Are you like an anarchist or something?
No. No, I'm not.
Like the anarchists are like, we don't need anything by the government,
No,
man. We
stop,
can just
stop.
live on eating berries and fucking boar meat.
I want to know if you have been convinced that money is real value. I want to know that whether you look at what's behind you. I look at your setting. I look what's behind you. You have bottles. You have pictures. Is that worth money? Or is that somebody's time? Is the value of life money or time?
Well, it's time that's turned into money, a way to compensate for it. You can't pay for somebody's time in time. You can't, you know, fucking give somebody 3 years of his life back for, you know, building a house. You can pay in money, so he can, you know, use it on something good for him.
Interesting. So in Finland, I'm just gonna I just googled a few things here because Marshall might have a good question about this. You have in Finland universal health care, affordable child care, and free college. Is this correct?
Yeah.
So you get free education. Is that important? Is that pushed upon people over there? They're growing up like you just go, or did people take advantage of the free college?
There is a lot of people who don't use the free education.
Interesting.
Because we have free welfare.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's like, I really feel like we should push people to actually get educated so they can do something in their fucking lives.
Okay.
So you have all those things available to you. You feel like they don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Have you?
That's why a lot of people
Have you?
from, you know,
Have
Hold
you?
on.
I'm in the
Let him
army
talk.
now, so I can't really, you know,
He's in the
do
army.
much about it. I still have 50 more days. After that, I'm thinking of getting like a really basic shit ass job or try to get into some school.
Okay. Is it hard to get into the school since it's available to everybody, or what's the requirement?
I
if
mean, yeah, like depending, like if you want to fucking study construction working and shit, you know, there's a fuck ton of places for that, and anybody can go to them. But for like really special kind of stuff, there is
Okay.
rather hard. I have friends who have been trying to get into one school for like 3 years now.
So
haven't gotten there.
Okay, so there's some prevalent people in America that are we could call them they're wealthy, you know, definitely up there. You've got Elon Musk, Gary Vaynerchuk, that highly push against going to college for a lot of people. That you can learn everything you need to know on the internet for free, and that you can you don't have to pay. Well, here we have to pay for it. It's very expensive. You go to college, you get a 4-year degree. Most people come out with student debt that they pay on for 20, 30 fucking years. It's unbelievably expensive for a lot of them. And they argue that you don't need that you can learn a lot of the things. Now, there are certain trades, obviously, that you're going to need formal education on, but there's also a ton of stuff you can do without it. Do you feel like you have the opportunity in Finland to just build a business or create your own wealth without going to college?
I mean, yeah, you don't need to go to college. Many people don't go to college. You know, the only reason why you should go to college is like you have to have a college background to be like a doctor,
Right.
or like a teacher, or like fucking academic level shit.
Right on.
So if you want to make a construction job firm, you just go to vocational school for a couple of years and then you start building houses.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is English your native language?
No.
What do you?
It's Finnish.
What can I?
Speak very good English.
Will you say something in your native language so that I can hear what it sounds like?
Mene töihin. Vetun apena.
All right, and what is that origin?
It's Finnish, man.
Finnish comes from it's a Finno-Ugric language. It comes from fucking Mongolian, Siberian, like tribes.
Right on. Well, we appreciate your time, man. We are
I want to know.
what do you want to know?
Where in the world geographically are you all?
Oh, well, I could pull up a map.
In Europe.
Yeah, they're in Europe, like north end of Europe.
I know that. I know that.
Yeah, there's Sweden, you know, the ball sack of Norway, and
there you go.
And then there's Russia, and
right
between that is Finland, the ball sack of Sweden.
Right, hey, that's why it says the ball sack. So they're up there, man.
Man, dude, thank you. This was one of the best conversations I've ever had in my life.
We appreciate your time, man. Look,
thank you, man.
You can check us out. We're on YouTube. We are the Free as Fuck podcast. You can check out some of our stuff if you're ever interested in watching Marshall. We have funny, crazy conversations, and we appreciate your time, buddy. And you stay free as fuck out in Finland. 50 days left.
We will.
Go change the world.
All right. No more. No more.
All right, let me get up off of here. So that was our first run through Omegle. There's a couple of you still listening there. No, I appreciate your comments on there. It was an interest. Look, man, I told you I don't know what was going to happen. We could run into anybody. I didn't think we don't have to have these on if we're not talking to them. I don't think that I explained to you that they could be from anywhere in the world. So we had you meet some interesting people.
Yeah, that was great.
That was cool.
That was great, man. So humbled. I know I spent a year in Korea. So that was my only time outside the United States. But I love listening to people because every time I hear people talk about a crisis at the southern border, a crisis, they're like, this is a crisis at the southern border. It's a crisis. There's people trying to get into America. I'm like, dude, man, that's not a crisis. Go to another country where they have nothing, where they are trying to get to America, where everyone is leaving the country. If you think a crisis is people trying to get into your country, I can assure you there's a crisis in other countries where they are trying to leave the country, where they are trying to run away from their country. That's a crisis. That's a real crisis. Don't tell me that we have a crisis where people are trying to get into our country. That is not a crisis. Stop telling me that people trying to get into our country is a crisis. That is not a crisis. You are lying to Americans when you tell Americans that people trying to get into America is a crisis. Let me assure you what is a crisis. Go to a country where people can't even fucking live, and they are willing to abandon their lives to go somewhere else. And if that happens in America, that's a crisis. That is not happening in America. People are beating down our fucking doors because they can't fucking wait to be in America. No matter how bad you try to tell me it is, Fox News. No matter how bad you're rooting against our Olympic teams, Fox News. People want to be in America. And that is not a crisis. That is because we are the greatest country in the world. That is because you can come here and we are going to do our very best as Americans to do our very best to take care of you. That's who we are. That's who America has always been.
I think
that's why in the rest of the world, when you're worried about whether or not you can kneel for your national anthem and we can kneel for ours, that's because we don't kill you for kneeling for ours. We talk shit about you, but you can do it. We made sure you could do it. We're not mad at you. And let me assure you of something. Soccer team that lost a game, you're going to come home to America and we're going to give you a hug. And we're going to love you. And we're going to tell you thank you for doing everything that you could to win. And by the way, just let me assure you something that I know about our women's soccer team. We might have lost one fucking game, but we're about to come out the rest of the world and kick your fucking ass. Because you want to know what America does? America kicks your fucking ass. I watched us do it in hockey in 1980. I've watched us do it in basketball year after year after year after year. And I'm going to watch us do it again in fucking women's soccer. And they lost the game, big fucking deal. I ain't fucking panicking. Our women's soccer team is going to whip your ass. And if you want to see some crazy shit, watch Simone Biles fucking jump.
You're
up
gonna have a
and spin on
Simone
the
Biles
wall.
T-shirt tomorrow. Don't you worry.
Guarantee you. We're
You
about
know,
to kick some ass.
I had a clip that I was gonna do on my TMF show that kind of played in. I wanted to listen. It wasn't even. You know what? After listening to what we talked about today, I thought in a way it does. It just came out today too. I mean, let me look it up real quick because I thought, he's right. It's a Gary Vee clip that he posted. He did this video and he's like, I gotta make this video because I think you'll find it interesting, and I think some of the viewers will also find it interesting. Hold on, let me mute it and drag it over here so that we can see it, and then you'll probably have to put the headphones on, obviously, so you can hear it. But it's only it's like 4 minutes, but it's about how people tell you it's about either or. And he's saying America should be about and, not either or. You either like this or that, instead of everything. Put the headphones on, listen to it. We'll talk about it real quick, and then we'll end it. Because I think it tied into some of the not the comedy portion of the show, but some of the stuff that we talked about, and I think some of the viewers would also be interested in kind of what this is, because this is, when you talk about America, this is what America should be about.
All right. I'm willing to listen.
Okay, I'm going to we're gonna play it,
Go ahead.
and I'll put a link down there for it.
But do I have the fucking obnoxious audacity? This morning, on a nice little Sunday, show 'em, D-Rock, it's a nice Sunday, I woke up with a chip on my shoulder to talk about this audacity, this fucking audacity that so many people have, that they think that this one fucking person of 8 billion, I'm talking to you, that your judgment if NFTs is a good idea or not, or if collecting marbles, show it, or collecting old Transformers, show it, or fucking some cup from the 1800s, fucking show it. I went on a rant on Twitter to talk about this ridiculousness that people think the world is either or instead of and. You're so addicted with or. No, this is good and that's not. Like, collectible watches are smart, collectible fucking sneakers are smart, but Thundercats are not. Jackson Pollock good, sports cards bad. Sports cars good, fucking handbags. Who the fuck do you think you are? The biggest mistake I see right now on everyone's hot takes on NFTs is the culture of no and the culture of either or. If you dropped an M and an E, fucking post-edit this shit, Team Gary. If you dropped an M and an E at the beginning and the end of that fucking terrible word or and made it more, you would actually live life. The biggest issue in life is that people think it's either or, that their religion is better than someone else's, that their political stance is better than somebody else's, that their product is better than someone else's, that their content is better. Your fucking inability to understand everybody can get theirs, that we can all fucking coexist, that NFTs can dominate while sports cards and comics and toys. I'm going to the fucking National this upcoming week or in 2 weeks to Chicago, and I'm gonna buy a fuckload, and I mean a fuckload of cardboard, while I'm also gonna buy NFTs on the blockchain. And very easily, in my fucking heart, and in my soul, and in my brain, and in my fucking essence, sorry, I'm fucking pumped, D-Rock. In my essence, it's very easy for those things to coexist. And the shit that I'm not interested in, watches, sports cards, handbags, antiques from fucking Europe, and the other trillion fucking things, including, stick with me now, the other things I don't give a fuck about investing in, like, stick with me now, real estate. You know how many fucks I give about putting my money into real estate? 0. Meanwhile, do I understand that some people do well, almost everybody, that's an icon in real estate and buy sports teams, Steve, like, do I understand it? Yes, but do I have the fucking obnoxious audacity to think my fucking one opinion of not being interested in making passive income in real estate is right? No, I do not. This world is an and world. And every fucking person that thinks it's an or world will continue to fucking lose and cry and fucking leave hate, because you're fucking sad because you think the world is limited when it's fucking not. So figure it the fuck out.
So I thought that was interesting. I saw it earlier today, and I was like, and then when we were talking about America, it should be and.
Okay, well then, here's what I'll say to you.
You got to get closer to the mic. That's what I'll say to you.
Do you want us? Because I think we have a stronger message than him, for sure. You're watching him, and I've sat here, and I know what you're up against,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what I'm up against. And I would just ask you, are you ready to let us have that kind of presentation?
Yeah, you have to. You got to bring it.
No, I'm asking you. Don't.
You got to bring it, Marshall. It's not a matter of if.
No,
It's
man,
just do it.
I can give you the words. More of the words are required. That's why I sat in the fucking living room with Jana for 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And every night we had amazing conversations where I would expand on the world. I would let the whole world know what needed to change.
Well, let me ask you this.
No. Way better than that. Way better than that. Dude.
Well, you're not into the economic side like Gary Vee. I get it. But let me ask you this. Do you enjoy talking to people from around the world?
Sure.
Because I think that people that will watch this and people that live in America, I think they have a misguided viewpoint of what the rest of the world really thinks of us.
Well, if we're not going to give it pop, and that's your job, I'm going to give it, dude, I can out.
Look, man,
What's that guy's name?
That's Gary Vaynerchuk.
Okay, Gary V. I'll just say Gary V.
Gary V. That's what he goes by.
I can out Gary V.
It's gonna be a tough. Listen, that's you're setting the bar high. Marshall, listen to me. You're too far away from the microphone. Pull the mic to you, or
Okay.
it moves.
All right.
Because look, Noel can't hear you. It's too low. You got to get closer. If you're gonna out V Gary V, you got to be closer to the mic. Step one.
Gary V doesn't have a mic in front of him.
He has a mic attached to his shirt.
Okay.
Follows him around.
So, where's my mic attached to my shirt?
I can attach a mic to your shirt.
Okay. Don't
Step
tell
one's
me-
going to be you're going to have to
don't-
wear the shirt I give you.
Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about it. Gary V. Gary, look, man, let me tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All I can do is tell the truth. That's what I've learned about life. At my point in my life. That's all I can do. Here's what I'll tell you. Gary V. You ever stood in a prison shower where motherfuckers have stood on the other side of the prison shower and told you that they were going to rape you?
I don't know where you're going with this.
I will tell you this. I can fight any fight. And I know you're about to fight a fight that you ain't ever had to fight. So if you don't know where I'm going with this, this is where I'll tell you I'm going with this. I know how to fight the worst fight that you can possibly fucking imagine. And I can assure you that Gary V talking shit in his kitchen doesn't mean a goddamn fucking thing to me.
It doesn't have to mean something to you.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
look,
Just let me-
I'm
just
gonna
let me-
stop you right here. I'm gonna stop you because the message that Gary V brings isn't your message. I know that. I understand that completely. I also understand that Gary V has changed the lives of tens of thousands of people.
Good fucking.
He has.
Thank you.
Hey, you got enough. You are enough, El Toro. Remember what we said when we started this shit? No more. Boy, I will knock that shit over. I will fuck your bull up. See, look, you started off with a small one. This motherfucker.
Small one.
No, look, it's 3 a.m. where we're at. We have been up here. We've got 4 people in here. We got Noel, he's still hanging out, and a couple other folks who haven't joined the chat. But look, this was an interesting show. We did some fun stuff. We talked to some people, and I think that people, where I was going with this is I think that people do have a let me put this into word for a second, because we believe that we have a perception around the world, and people see us a certain way because, let's be honest, we don't see media from around the world here. We see our local news, our Fox News, our CNNs and stuff. We don't talk to people like me and you around the world. And when you start talking to them, you start seeing what the view of the country really is from everyone's ordinary standpoint. And how do you go, you want to make a change, and how do you go about making those changes? And you talk to people and get a good view from the outside world. And that's fun. So it was all fun. But look, the bull has come in, so close the show. I see the bull over there. I see that El Toro kicking it. It's about to come kick its way the fuck out your ass. It's 3 a.m., dude. I'm tired. I mean, I'm up. I drink Rockstar. I'm up, but fuck, man. That 9 a.m. is gonna hit my ass hard.
Good work.
I have things, I gotta do shit, man. You know, I don't have to be at work at 9, but I'll be up. That dog's gonna get up.
All right, well then fine. Because nothing hurt my heart more than me trying to exit this and you telling me that I was wrong.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this: it's 3 a.m. We've been up here for 2 hours on the show. We covered a lot of shit. We talked to some cool people. Man, let's go to bed.
Okay. Well then, I promise that I will not stop after I say this.
Okay.
The only person that's ever stopped this is you.
All right.
Some people die free. Some people are born free. But some people live free as fuck. I promise you, I live free as fuck. God bless you all. And God bless fucking America. Thank you.
There you go, folks. That's going to wrap up episode 15 of the Free as Fuck podcast. And, odds are we will actually be back here way too soon. Probably, like I'd say tonight, because it's fucking Sunday. It's 3 a.m. It still feels like Saturday. But we're on a roll, and we're trying to produce more content for you guys and cover more topics and expand upon our content that we're giving. So I appreciate anyone who stopped in and checked it out. To the 4 of you that are hanging out here this late for us, we appreciate it. I don't know where you're at, but it's probably not 3 a.m. there. But we hope to see you on the next one. If you hit the subscribe button and the little dinger, the little bell, it'll let you know that we are live, and you can check out all the clips of the show. You don't have to watch it in its entirety. And pick your poison, man. And if you have some suggestions for topics you would like us to cover, leave them in the chat. I do read all the comments to the videos, and I do respond to them. So we will make a note of it, and we will talk about it. But until next time, man, like Marshall said, stay free as fuck.